His Majesty King Charles has backed down in the face of Donald Trump's inauguration and has basically begged for mercy in a meeting that's going to happen in a couple of weeks' time. This video is all about how I think the new president of the United States of America is going to improve the performance of our king, somebody who I think is a nice bloke but has got things wrong. Stick with me. Hello everyone, this is Andre Walker. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do subscribe, but more importantly, hit the bell notification icon. It's the best way to absolutely guarantee you get all of my videos as soon as they are released. How many times have you heard people call him King Prince Charles? And the reason for that is very simple. Charles is the longest serving Prince of Wales in the history of this country, and actually somebody who's been phenomenally successful. I don't know if you know this, but the Princedom of Wales is an unpaid job. What? Yes. That's absolutely right. The Prince of Wales receives absolutely no money whatsoever. What he does get is the Duchy of Cornwall. Now, that includes a lot of property in Cornwall, but also a portfolio of property elsewhere. Things like the Oval, where they play the cricket, is part of the Duchy. Now, look, when King Prince Charles, as we like to call him, became Prince of Wales, really the Duchy was in quite a poor state. But he began rebuilding it and changing it and making it significantly better. I don't know if you know, but he has quadrupled the profits of the Duchy with his Duchy Originals range of food, which is extremely expensive, organic and whatever. Now look, he once said that he thought his plants did better when he talked to them, and people mocked him. There's a bit of a causal link issue there, because of course his plants did do better when he talked to them, because he was breathing carbon dioxide all over the leaves, and of course in a greenhouse that would improve the plants growing. But look, I think that the king has gone wrong because of his background, and I'm not particularly being critical of him, and I think Donald Trump is going to massively help. Look, first of all, if your job is to be the Queen's deputy, if you like, the Vice President, but also you have to run the Duchy of Cornwall, then what essentially happens is you run it as a farming business and you get into all of the green agenda, all the woke agenda, all that sort of thing, which is what Charles has done. And I think what he's tried to do is bring that forward to his role as king. And I think that's been a huge and catastrophic mistake. There's no harm whatsoever in a British farming business bringing in concepts like organic, because the people that are going to buy your products have got the money to afford it. But that is a very different proposition to what you do as king. Now, where does Donald Trump fit into this? Well, it's really, really simple. The king now has to represent the United Kingdom with a man in Donald Trump that actually isn't necessarily on the same page as him, but he's begging for mercy for the following thing. He absolutely knows that it's vital to have a relationship with Donald Trump. He absolutely knows that Donald Trump is pro-monarchy and pro-British. We had the Prince William meeting with Donald Trump. It lasted 40 minutes when Notre Dame Cathedral was reopening, and you knew Donald Trump was trying to butter up Prince William because he said, he's doing a great job, he's doing a great job. Now, obviously, Donald Trump's instinct will be to be very critical of the United Kingdom, to be very critical of the king, and particularly to have a problem with Harry and Meghan. That cannot be allowed to happen. So now, what has happened? It's not happened today, but the project is now going into fruition. The king is going to meet Donald Trump. It is a face-to-face meeting, and that is a prelude to the state visit to the United Kingdom. We know that there is only one thing better than the most powerful man on earth, which is the president. That is a human god, which is the slightly odd and nobody believes trick that we try and play with the monarchy, which is why they call them Your Majesty. But it's a serious business. I remember when Barack Obama was very anti-British, Her Majesty the Queen invited him and his wife, who by the way has left him and didn't turn up today at the inauguration, but she invited them over for a visit, and I think it was Sasha Obama received a carriage ride in the state carriage around Buckingham Palace as her 10th birthday present while she was there. This is something now that's going to be extremely significant, simply because His Majesty the King will be schooled by Trump. He will have to beg to ensure that Harry is not deported from the United States of America. Remember that thing with Harry and Meghan, where we know that Harry lied on his visa application. He admitted in the book Spur that he had taken cocaine and taken cannabis, and that would not allow you into the United States of America if you admit it. So we assume that he lied on the visa, which also would preclude him from being in the United States of America with a green card. So the king has to beg him. And what will Donald Trump say to the king? Well, first of all, I think he'll say this, that what the king did as Prince of Wales is phenomenal. Poundbury was a great development and Duchy Originals are great. But you cannot run the United Kingdom like an organic farm. And that's not being disparaging to organic farms. You have to run it as a serious country. The king, unfortunately, has been on both sides of the divide. I don't believe for one second that Queen Elizabeth II was in favour of EU membership. How on earth would she be in favour of it? She was going to turn the country that she ruled into a mere province of the EU, a country that, remember, she had served in when we fought a war against them. But the king will now be schooled by Donald Trump on how you can move things forward. And I think it will cause a significant improvement in the king, because I think this is a man who feels a great sense of duty. I think that he doesn't understand his role as monarch. I think that he was a good Prince of Wales, but he's only going to be a very short-term king. He has already dispatched William to be his public-facing person, and he is trying to work in the back behind the scenes. And I think actually he'll probably be quite good at it. And so that meeting, when it happens between Donald Trump and King Charles, is going to be phenomenal, because Charles will actually listen to what Trump has said and Trump will help him. And what do we have to do? And this is where I think King Charles will be good. We have to get that trade deal with the United States of America. And I think Charles can negotiate it. I think he'll enjoy negotiating it. And I think, unlike Queen Elizabeth II, who was very much a baby kisser and somebody who was there to be seen as a point of continuity for a changing country, Charles wants to debate the issues, you see, and he's interested in politics and policy. And I think that that will enable him to do that trade deal. I think that we're about to see something great. Donald Trump's inauguration, yes, has dropped the king out of his comfort zone, but I think it'll be the making of the man. He's only going to be king for maybe 10, 15 years, but actually his ability behind the scenes, his knowledge and experience, I think with the help of Donald Trump, will make Britain great again. Because what are we talking about here? With William, with Charles, with Donald Trump, our establishment has lost its way. Theresa May's not a bad person. King Charles isn't a bad person. William is not a bad person, but the problem is they've had no direction. With Donald Trump putting some stick around, things are going to work. And so, yes, the British monarch is begging to befriend Donald Trump. Yes, he's going to suck up to him a bit, but I think that's going to be a good thing for this country. And remember what we've got here. We have got a president of the United States of America who is the most pro-British president ever. And by the way, I'm going to say something else. When he becomes a British citizen, Donald Trump, I think we have to troll the world by making him the Duke of Washington, Viscount New York, and Baron Trump in honour of his son. The reason is because we always give a dukedom to former heads of state. There's only been one. He is the king who abdicated, who was made Duke of Windsor. But I think we should make Donald Trump a hereditary peer. I think we should knight him. He'll accept the knighthood. And also we should recognise that this is not about America. This is about the world. This is about putting the Anglosphere first. And I think that the fact that King Charles has been a little bit humbled actually is going to be helpful. Please do comment and let me know what you think. Until next time, goodbye.